welcome back. So today I'm going to be recapping on my month of Veganuary. Before you think it's not for you, just wait, just listen, because it really is not as scary and challenging as you think. So I went into it thinking, oh my god, I'm honestly going to starve. There's nothing I can eat. I have to change everything. I'm only going to be eating leaves, and yeah, this is too difficult and it's going to just be painful for a whole month. No, it's not that at all. It's not that deep. It's honestly so easy to just substitute small things into your diet and then you're living a vegan lifestyle, vegan diet basically. So it's amazing. So just hear me out. So vegans have a lot of stigma about them in terms of they are hippies or animal lovers or tree huggers or really spiritual and out there people, and it's just not the case. Like, I think that's just people that haven't tried it, and that's maybe their fear talking of, god, it's just not for me, I'm just not that type of person. But it is so easy to make the adjustments, and I didn't actually come from eating meat, so I understand it is a bigger step. If you are eating meat and fish a lot in your diet, that is an adjustment. The term I always hear is it's not a meal unless it has meat, and so many people say that, but I personally was never a big meat eater anyway. Where I went from was I would be eating meat in the start of the year, but never red meat, basically just chicken and processed meat, to be honest. So go to McDonald's, have burgers or whatever, but I've never had a steak or anything like that. Coming off of the fish, I don't like fish that's super fishy. It obviously doesn't make sense because fish is fishy, but if it tastes really strong, then I don't like it. If it's got a head or a tail on it that I can see, it's a no. And yeah, just certain tastes. So I'm a little bit fussy anyway, just a little bit, but I just went off of it. I wasn't craving it, I didn't want to buy it, and I didn't want to cook it. So I then went to practically vegetarian by the end of the year. So that's what spurred me on to try Veganuary. I've got vegan friends that always say to me, it's not that difficult, give it a go. So it wasn't brand new to me, but for my diet, it was a change. So I did go into it, I will admit, thinking I am going to struggle with this, that I'm going to be counting down the 31 days of the longest month, January, and it's just going to be really difficult. And honestly, it really wasn't that. I think it's more of a mindset thing, that when you say to yourself, I'm going to do this, and you just have to find alternatives, it's just not as deep as you make it in thinking like, I've got to buy a whole new like cupboard of supplies or whatever, and you just change up a few small things and then you're good to go. I am constantly eating. I love to snack, I love to eat, go out to eat, whatever it may be. So the first thing I'd probably say that you need to start by doing is meal prepping. You have to think about your meals for the week, and you have to make sure you've got those ingredients in your fridge for the week. If it comes around to the time when you're hungry and there's nothing to eat, then you're in trouble, because then you'll want to be reaching for whatever you've got in the back of the cupboard or whatever from before, unless you've done a whole clear out. So yeah, so meal prep is really big. The majority of my lunches will be salads, which might have olives, falafel, avocados, chickpeas. A great thing to cook in bulk is just roast some vegetables, have them cooking if you're doing something else, or jumping in the shower, and then you can have it with a little corn fillet or anything else you want, and they're just good to go. Pasta with vegetables. But honestly, once you just go and start reading on the back of packets and just being more aware of what you're putting into your body, you'll see there are so many foods that are vegan. I didn't feel restricted in where I could go. There was options everywhere. Loads of places have brought out vegan ranges like M&S, Pret, Marks and Spencer's, obviously Greg's sausage roll, which was everywhere. So there's so many options now, you're not limited. You've obviously got all the vegan actual restaurants as well. What else? A great snack that I found was either to have peanut butter or jam on toast, because that's something that I might have had anyway, so that keeps it to what I'm used to. Dark chocolate rice cakes was so good if you just wanted that little sweet kick. I don't usually like dark chocolate either, but those dark chocolate rice cakes are so nice. If you do find yourself craving a little takeaway, I personally didn't want to restrict myself at all the whole month. So I didn't want to say, right, go down to 0, you're going vegan, you're not having anything, no treats, super clean. I wasn't doing it for the weight loss, because I want it to be more of a lifestyle change. I want to ease myself in, get used to the basis of it really, and what I can have and what the structure is, and then start to cut back. But I didn't want to go from 100 eating everything in sight basically to 0 and then maintain that, because I think it's just a little bit too difficult, and you are going to have cravings, you are going to want to break. So I just said, do vegan, everything has to be vegan, but have little treats. So I would have a Chinese takeaway, and I would have tofu and black bean sauce with rice, just vegetable rice, or I'd have a Jamaican takeaway, and obviously minus the meat, everything is pretty much plant-based. Go crazy with that. And I had a Domino's even, and just didn't have the cheese, so I just had barbecue base with vegetables, and they're obviously different. It's obviously not going to taste how you know it now, but as that little craving and as that familiar taste, it's nice to tie you over, and it just gets rid of the craving. So you can definitely just modify and substitute things, and it's absolutely fine to keep having the same foods and cuisines that you like. So what I actually found, which was a happy surprise on my journey, was the weight loss. So at the start of the year, everyone has a plan. I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to do this and be in the best shape of my life and all the rest of it. But where I wanted to make a lifestyle change in going to vegan, I didn't want to really, you know, restrict myself and limit myself from eating whatever I wanted at Christmas basically to 0. Because I want to maintain it, and I don't want it to be end of Jan, right, go crazy. I really didn't want that. So my thing was to do vegan, everything would be vegan, but if you want to go out, have a little treat here, then have it. What I did experience that obviously was not too keen on, some side effects, was that I had a lot of headaches in the start, and I think it was just when my body was going into a deficit of not having all of the sugar and probably all the dairy that I was having. So I would find that headaches were creeping, and it wasn't that I wasn't drinking enough water, because I have a minimum of probably 2 litres a day, if not more. So it wasn't that. I just think it was the shock to the system and the calorie deficit. So just be aware of that. If you are going to change your diet, obviously quite suddenly, then that is something. But it balanced out by the end of the month. It wasn't an issue at all. It was absolutely fine. So as I said, I didn't want to super restrict myself and not have any treats at all. But I was still monitoring it. I wanted to see how my body was changing being on that diet. These are my pictures from the summer. This is pretty much how my body is when I'm on my diet. I then balloon the biggest size that I've been. So I was super pleased to see that I had lost half a stone. So start of the month obviously was at my heaviest. As it went through the weeks, by week 2 I'd lost 5 pounds. So super happy, super excited. By week 3, I plateaued and I was the same weight. So I was thinking, right, okay. But by persevering, by the end of the month, I'd lost a total of half a stone. So considering I wasn't really trying, you're still losing weight. I know that if I do go, you know, in and make sure that I'm not eating all the junk, that I will lose more weight. So that's positive. And when I'm ready to do that super, super clean diet, I know that the weight will drop off me a lot quicker. Oh, sun's just come out. My social life definitely wasn't affected. You know, you can still go out, be out and about. There's loads of restaurants that are now offering vegan options. So I attended Vegan Nights with my friends. So it's basically an event in East London. We really, really liked it actually. It's the first one I've gone to. Obviously the concept is that there's loads of stalls of just vegan food, and you make your way around. There's kind of a music area, and then there's also like sweets and desserts. So we went just this month gone, and it was absolutely freezing, but it was still a really good turnout. So if you're easing yourself in and want to try different cuisines, then definitely head down there and have a little taste of a few things to get some ideas. I opted for a sausage, they're called. They call it like a Cumberland sausage, but I think it was actually made up of quinoa and other little lentils. I didn't actually ask them everything that was in it. It's topped off with onions and salad. And then the blue sauce is actually a garlic mayo. It tastes so good. So I gave that a go. As you can see, I dived straight in and I am not shy to eat in front of people at all.
Cash or cards? Number 32! 32!
Thank you. So excited to come away.
Enjoy.
Right, what burger is this?
It's a veggie burger.
Okay.
The green monster. I'm scared to eat this.
Good? Then they have the sweet section and it's got tons of cakes. Vegan cakes are actually delicious. There's basically no difference in them. I just love them the same way I love normal cake, which is dangerous. But there's tons of options in this place. We actually tried sugarcane juice for the first time. Considering I've been to Jamaica a few times, I'm surprised I've not actually tried sugarcane juice. I've had sugarcane before, but yeah, it was nice. Mine had a little bit of mint in it. So even though I look a little bit unsure, I did really like it. Yeah?
It's definitely going to go back again.
Yeah. So, on the whole, yay! On the whole, definitely would recommend vegan nights and just branch out. Go to different vegan places, go to even existing restaurants that you know and just try vegan things off the menu, and slowly you'll just kind of ease yourself into it. So my overall thoughts of Veganuary. So I honestly really enjoyed it. I didn't find it that difficult at all. In the start, it was slight adjustments, and it's for me, if I was feeling really lazy in an evening and I did not want to cook for the next day for my lunch, I would just say, okay, just buy lunch tomorrow and cook the next day. And you make excuses and then you end up probably going and buying so much junk on your lunch and spending loads of money anyway. But it just forces you to get into a routine and be really regimented and controlled with what you're eating, which is super positive, and you know everything that you're putting into your body, which is a great thing anyway. The weight loss on the side was a massive plus. And definitely a tool that I would recommend if you want to have healthy, sustained weight loss. Definitely give vegan a go. Of course, you're making a positive impact, so it's great and it's benefiting you. And then the obvious, that it's so much better for the environment, it's more sustainable. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it slightly tempted you to give it a go, if not fully tempted you, and you're going to do it next month for February. But yeah, it's just to create a little bit more of awareness and to take out the stigma of it being super difficult and challenging. So yeah, it just got super dark. Hello, sun.